Good evening, friends. So, today's topic is complete blood count, and I am going to discuss about 50 top MCQs in the topic complete blood count, and this will be very much helpful for your upcoming competitive and medical lab technology examinations. Okay, now let me share my screen in front of you. So please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen now, and please like and subscribe this channel in order to get more such live sessions so that you can enjoy more such live sessions in your near future. So I will be sharing my screen now, and you can see here it is written complete blood count CBC, and this PDF contains top 50 multiple choice questions. And now I am getting ready to solve these top 50 multiple choice questions, and this will be very much your upcoming medical lab technology examination. So let me start now. So now I will start from question number 1. So in the question number 1, what it is asking what does CBC stands for. So can you please answer the question for me? What does CBC stands for? The CBC stands for complete CBC stands for blood count. So what does CBC stands for? CBC stands for complete blood, means it is the count of total RBC, that is red blood cell, WBC, white blood cell, and platelets. Now I will move to the next question. So what is the next question? Which of the following is not routinely CBC? So the next question is which of the following is not routinely included in a CBC? The right answer of this question will be serum bilirubin. What will be the right answer of this question? The right answer of this question will be serum bilirubin. This test is done in LFT, that is liver function test. So it is not a routine test for CBC, and the that is hemoglobin, platelet count, and white blood cell counts. They are all routine tests in CBC. Means if anyone gives sample to do CBC test, then hemoglobin, platelet, and white blood cell is included in CBC. Now I will move to the next question, and in the next question it is given as which anticoagulant is commonly used for CBC testing. The anticoagulant which is used for CBC testing is known as EDTA. EDTA is a anticoagulant which is commonly used for CBC testing. Okay, so which anticoagulant is used for CBC testing? EDTA. Am I clear to you? Okay, now I will move to the next question. Here it is written that the main function of red blood cells is. So, what is the other name of red blood cell? Can anyone tell me in the chat box what is the other name of red blood cell? The other name of red blood cell is erythrocyte. E T H R O C Y T E. What is the other name of red blood cell? The other name of red blood cell is erythrocyte. So, what is the main function of red blood cell? The main function of red blood cell is to transport oxygen throughout our body. Is it clear to you? So, what is the main function of red blood cell? The main function of red blood cell is to transport oxygen throughout our body. Okay. Now I will move to the next question. Here the question is given as the oxygen carrying pigment in RBC is name of oxygen carrying pigment in RBC. The name of oxygen carrying pigment in red blood cell is hemoglobin. I think you are finding this question very much interesting. And if you are finding this question very much interesting, then please like and subscribe this channel. I will be bringing more such live sessions for you, and these questions will be very much helpful for your upcoming competitive examination and other medical lab technology examinations. Here the question is given as the next question is given as the normal lifespan of red blood cell is approximately. The normal lifespan of a red blood cell, the normal lifespan of a red blood cell is approximately 120 days. So, what is the normal lifespan of a red blood cell? The normal lifespan of a red blood cell is 120 days. Now, I will move to the next question. It is as follows: which parameter measures the percentage volume occupied by RBC? Can you please help me to answer this question? Which parameter measures the percentage of blood volume occupied by RBC? The right answer of this question will be hematocrit. Okay, so a hematocrit is a parameter which measures the percentage of blood occupied by RBCs, that is red blood cells. Now I will move to the next question. The next question is as follows: what does MCV stands for? So here the question is, what does MCV stands for? So now MCV stands for mean corpuscular volume. So what does MCV stands for? MCV stands for mean corpuscular volume. Okay. Now I will move to the next question. And the next question is as follows. MCV is primarily to classify anemia according to, so here, so actually MCV means, so what does MCV means? Can anyone comment in the chat box what does MCV means? MCV. So what does MCV means? Can anyone comment in the chat box what does MCV means? Yeah, we know that MCV, it is a standard measurement. It is a standard, STANDARD. It is a standard measurement. What does MCV means? MCV means it is a standard measurement that calculates the average size, that calculates the average size and volume of RBC. Okay, so what does MCV means? MCV means it is the standard measurement that calculates the average size and volume of RBC. So MCV is used primarily to classify anemia according to, I think the right answer of this question will be red blood cell size. Okay, so now I will move to the next question. So here the question is given as anemia with decreased MCV is called. So anemia with decreased MCV is called. What does anemia with decreased MCV is known as? Anemia with decreased MCV is known as microlytic anemia. So what does anemia with decreased MCV known as? Anemia with decreased MCV is known as microlytic anemia. So in this case, the size of red blood cell decreases. In this type of anemia, size of red blood cells decreases. Decreases. That is, it gets smaller. So it is known as microcytic anemia. Is it clear to you? So what happens in this case? The size of RBC decreases. So now I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as an increased MCV is a characteristics of. An increased MCV is a characteristics of. It is a characteristics of macrocytosis. Option B will be the right answer. So what is written in option B? It is written as macrocytosis. So an increased MCV is characteristics of macrocytosis. Now I will move to the next question. And here the next question is given as MCH refers to. Here MCH refers to mean corpuscular hemoglobin. What does MCH refers to? MCH refers to mean corpuscular hemoglobin. So, can you please tell me what is the meaning of MCH in the chat box? What is the meaning of MCH? What is the meaning of MCH? MCH means, what does MCH means? It means the amount of hemoglobin red blood cell. So what does MCH means? MCH means the amount of hemoglobin per red blood cell. So is it clear to you what does MCH means? So here you can see the question is given as MCH indicates the. So I have written the definition of MCH in the previous page. So from that we can answer this question. So what does MCH indicates? MCH indicates the average amount of hemoglobin per red blood cell. And what is the other name of red blood cell? The other name of red blood cell, that is RBC, is erythrocyte. ERYTHROCYTE. What is the other name of red blood cell? The other name of red blood cell is erythrocyte. And what does MCH indicates? MCH indicates the average amount of hemoglobin per red blood cell. Is it clear to you? Now I will move to the next question. Here the question is given as what does MCHC represents? MCHC represents the mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. So, what does MCHC represent? MCHC represents the mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. MCHC. So, what does MCHC means? It means the average concentration or percentage of hemoglobin inside a single blood cell. It means the average concentration or percentage of hemoglobin in single RBC. So, what does MCHC represent? It represents the mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. And what does it means? It means the average concentration or percentage of hemoglobin in single red blood cell. So, here the next question is given as which RBC index is expressed as a percentage. So now you can answer this question. Here the question is given as which RBC index is expressed as a percentage. So anyone who can answer this question, the right answer of this question will be MCHC. The right answer of this question, no, sorry. Which RBC index is expressed as a percentage? Here the right answer of this question will be RDW. So what does RDW means? RDW means it measures the difference. It what does RDW measures? It measures the difference. It measures the difference in size and volume of our red blood cell. Is it clear to you? If you have any problem, then you can ask any question to me in the chat box. I will definitely answer you. And if you like this live stream, if you are finding this, you can subscribe this channel. Now here the next question is given as what does RDW measures? So here RDW measures the variation in RBC size. That is, it measures the variation in red blood cell size. Okay. Now I will move to the next question. Then here the next question is given as an increased RTW indicates. What does an increased RDW indicates? An increased RDW indicates increased. It indicates increased RBC size variations. That is red blood cell variations. It indicates increased red blood cell size variation. So now I will move to the next question. Which cell is the most abundant type of WBC in normal peripheral blood? So this is a very easy question. Now here the question, what is the question given? Here the question is given as which cell is the most abundant type of white blood cell in normal peripheral blood? The right answer of this question will be neutrophil. So, which type of WBC is abundant in normal peripheral blood? The right answer of this question will be neutrophil. It is abundant type of WBC in normal peripheral blood. Now, neutrophils are particularly important in. So, what is the main function of neutrophil? Here, the main function of the neutrophil is, what is the main function of neutrophil? The main function of neutrophil is it helps in bacterial infection defense. Is it clear to you? So, what is the main function of neutrophil? The main function of neutrophil is it helps in the defense mechanism of bacterial infection in our body. Now I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as an increased neutrophil count in our body is called. An increased neutrophil count in our body is known as neutrophilia. So what is the increased neutrophil count in our body is known as? It is known as neutrophilia. And now I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as a decreased total WBC, that is a decreased total white blood cell count in our body is known as. The decreased total WBC count in our body, that is white blood cell count, is known as leukopenia. What will be the right answer of this question? It will be leukopenia. If you like these questions, then please like and subscribe my video so that I get motivated to bring more such live streams and videos for you in the near future. It will be very much helpful to you in your coming examination. So now I will move to the next question, and in the next question, the question is given as increased total WBC count is called. So here the question is given as an increased total WBC count is known as. The increased total WBC count is known as leukocytosis. and increased total WBC count is known as leukocytosis. Okay, it is a very easy question and you have to remember it by heart. It may come in your upcoming examination. Here the next question is given as which white blood cell is commonly associated with allergic reaction. The right answer of this question will be eosinophil. Eosinophil is a type of RBC. It is a type of WBC which is commonly associated with allergic reaction. It is commonly associated with allergic reaction. Okay. So which type of WBC is commonly associated with allergic reaction? The right answer of this question will be eosinophil. Now I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as eosinophilia is commonly associated with eosinophilia is commonly associated with parasitic infections. Eosinophilia, that is, the increase in eosinophil, is commonly associated with parasitic infections. Now, which WBC is generally the least abundant in peripheral blood? And the right answer of this question will be basophil. Basophil is a type of WBC which is least abundant in peripheral blood. So, which type of WBC is generally least abundant in peripheral blood? That is, it contains very less in number. The right answer of this question will be basophil. Now I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as basophils contain large amount of. What does basophil contain? So basophil contains large amount of histamine. So what does basophil contains? It contains large amount of histamine. So what does basophil contains? Basophil contains large amount of histamine, and you have to remember it. So if anyone asks you what does basophil contains, you have to tell basophil contains large amount of histamine. Here in the next question, it is given as lymphocytes are primarily involved in. So the right answer of this question will be lymphocytes are involved in adaptive immune responses. So what does lymphocyte involve in? Lymphocytes are involved in adaptive immune responses. The right answer of this question will be option A, that is adaptive immune responses. Now I will move to the next question. Here the question is given as an increased lymphocyte count is called an increased lymphocyte count is known as lymphocytosis. So what does an increased lymphocyte count known as? The increased lymphocyte count is known as lymphocytosis. And what does a decreased lymphocyte count known as? If someone asks you what is a decrease in lymphocyte count known as, you have to tell them lymphocytopenia. If someone asks you what does a decreased lymphocyte count known as, then you have to tell them lymphocytopenia. But in this question, it is asked what is an increased lymphocyte count known as. If someone asks you what is the increased lymphocyte count known as, then you have to tell them lymphocytosis. Means during increase you have to say cytosis, and during decrease you have to say penia. Is it clear to you? Now here the question is given as monocytes can differentiate into. So the question is given as monocyte can differentiate into. Monocytes can differentiate into macrophages. So monocyte can differentiate into macrophages. Is it clear to you? So what does monocyte differentiate into? It differentiate into macrophages. Now the question is given as which of the following is a granulocyte? The right answer of this question will be neutrophil. There are two types of WBC. One is granulocyte and one is non-granulocyte. And in the granulocyte, neutrophil, basophil, and eosinophils are granulocytes. WBC, that is white blood cell. And the agranulocytes are lymphocyte and monocyte. So, here the right answer of this question will be neutrophil. Which of the following is a granulocyte? WBC. And the right answer of this question will be neutrophil. Both lymphocyte and monocytes are agranulocytes. They are not granulocyte. Is it clear to you? Now I will move to the next question. Which group of WBC of white blood cells contains only granulocyte? The right answer of this question will be neutrophil, eosinophils, and basophils. The right answer of this question will be neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. Is it clear? Now, here the question is given as platelets are primarily involved in. So, here the question is given as what is the main role of platelets in our body? The main role of platelet in our body is hemostasis. That is, platelets are also known as thrombocytes. That is, it helps in clotting of blood. So, what is the other name of platelet? The other name of platelet is thrombocyte. T H R THRO THR thromb THROM site. So, what is the main role of platelets in our body? It helps in clotting of blood. Therefore, the primary function which is involved with the platelet is it helps in hemostasis. Means it helps in clotting of blood. Clotting of blood. Is it clear to you? So what is the primary function of platelet? It helps in clotting of blood. A decreased platelet count in our body is known as thrombocytopenia. Okay. So what is a decreased platelet count means? It is known as thrombocytopenia. Here the question is given as an increased platelet count in our body is known as thrombocytosis. An increased platelet count in our body is known as thrombocytosis. So, what is an increased platelet count in our body is known as thrombocytosis. Platelets are derived from. So, can you please answer the question for me? Can you please answer this question? From where does the platelets derive from? Platelets are derived from megakaryocytes. Platelets are derived from megakaryocytes. So from where does the platelets are derived from? Why do the platelets are derived from? It is derived from megakaryocyte. Is it clear to you? Now I will move to the next question. And in the next question, it is given that which CBC, that is complete blood count parameter, gives information about platelet size variation. The right answer of this question will be PDW. The right answer of this question will be PDW. PDW is a parameter which gives us the information about platelet size variation. Which CBC parameter gives platelet size variation? It is PDW. Now, in the next question, it is given that what does MPV means? MPV means mean platelet volume. So, what does MPV means? MPV means mean platelet volume. Now I will move to the next question, and in the next question it is given that a high MPV generally indicates. What does a high MPV indicates? High MPV indicates larger average platelet size. So what does MPV indicates? MPV indicates larger average platelet size. Is it okay? Now I will move to the next question. Here the next question is given as which sample is generally preferred for routine CBC analysis. For routine CBC analysis, EDTA anticoagulated whole blood is preferred. So EDTA anticoagulated whole blood is generally preferred for analysis of complete blood count test, that is CBC test. Now I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as the anticoagulant EDTA prevents clotting mainly by it. The anticoagulant EDTA prevents the clotting of blood mainly by chelating calcium. That is, it binds the calcium and helps the blood and helps us to prevent clotting of blood. so that we can perform CBC smoothly, means the complete blood count test smoothly. Here, the next question is given as which instrument is commonly used for automated CBC analysis? The answer of this question will be the instrument which is used commonly for automated CBC analysis is known as hematology analyzer. So, which instrument is commonly used for automated CBC analysis? The right answer of this question will be hematology analyzer. Here, the question is given as a peripheral blood smear is useful for. A peripheral blood smear is useful for examining the blood cell morphology. It means it helps us to know the size, volume, and shape of our red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets in our body. In the next question, the question is given as which RBC shape is normally seen predominantly in a peripheral blood smear? Which RBC shape is normally seen predominantly in a peripheral blood smear? The right answer of this question will be bioconcave disc shape. So, which shape of RBC is normally seen predominantly in a peripheral blood smear? The right answer of this question will be bioconcave disc shape. Is it clear to you? If someone has any question, then you can ask me in the chat box. I will definitely help you to answer your doubts. Please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. So here the question is given as which RBC shape is normally seen predominantly in a peripheral blood smear. The right answer of this question will be bioconcave disc. Is it clear? Now the question is given as a decrease in red blood cell count, hemoglobin or hematocrit may indicate anemia. Okay, anemia is caused by the decrease of hemoglobin in our body. So, a decrease in red blood cell count, hemoglobin, or hematocrit may indicate anemia. Now, I will move to the next question, and the next question is given as an abnormal increase in red blood cell mass is called. An abnormal increase in red blood cell is known as polycythemia. What is an abnormal increase in RBC means? It means polycythemia. Here the question is given as pancytopenia refers to a decrease in pancytopenia refers to a decrease in red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets. Okay, so what does pancytopenia refers? It refers to a decrease in red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets, and you have to remember it by heart for your upcoming examination. Is it clear to you? Please, if you like this question, then please like and subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so that you will receive more such videos and live streams from my side. And these videos will be very much helpful to you in your upcoming examination, competitive examinations, and other medical lab technology examinations. These are best questions of complete blood count. Best MCQ questions of complete blood count. So now the question is given as, which CBC parameter is more directly related to the amount of hemoglobin in each RBC? So here the question is given as, which complete blood count parameter is most directly related to the amount of hemoglobin in each RBC. The right answer of this question will be mean corpuscular hemoglobin. That is, the right answer of this question will be option A. It is the CBC parameter which is more directly related to the amount of hemoglobin in each RBC. So the next question is, which condition is characterized by a reduced number of neutrophils? The condition which is characterized by a reduced number of neutrophil is known as neutropenia. The name of the condition is neutropenia. What is the name of the condition? The name of the condition is neutropenia. It is a condition which is characterized by a reduction of neutrophils in our body. So here the next question is given as, the differential leukocyte count provides information about the differential leukocyte count. What is the other name of leukocyte? It is white blood cell. White blood cell. Okay. So what is the information which is provided by differential leukocyte count? The right answer of this question will be different types of white blood cells, that is different types of WBCs. Is it clear to you? Now the last question of this live session is, which combination best represents the major component evaluated in a CBC? So the combination which best represent the major components evaluated in a CBC is RBC, that is red blood cell, which is also known as erythrocyte, WBC, which is also known as leukocyte, and platelets, which is also known as thrombocytes, and its related indices. Okay, so this is the last question of this live stream. If you like my video and if you like this question, then please like and subscribe this channel. I am signing off from this live session. So thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing, and I will be live back again in next 15 minutes with another set of questions which may be related to some other topic. So thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing.